Thank you, Congress, for spending 8 years wishing you could replace me with a Republican. Or, to put it another way, how do you like me now?
North Korea threatened to destroy New York with nuclear missiles because of Trump's Twitter fingers. According to Newsweek.com by Tom O'Connor.
It's really bad that North Korea is threatening Guam. Guam is U.S. soil. It's really bad that they're mounting those threats. But they do it a lot. What's different this week, in terms of it feeling like we're on the brink of war like never before, what's different is not that North Korea is doing something they've never done before. It's not how threatening their behavior is. I mean, their threats obviously have to be taken seriously. They always have been in the past, but we haven't had weeks like this in the past. What is actually unprecedented, what is truly new, is the behavior of the American government, not the North Korean government. President Trump threatened war against North Korea again today, for the 4th straight day. Then he announced that he would be speaking with the Chinese president tonight. And then, I kid you not, he said, quote, hopefully it will all work out with North Korea. And then he proceeded to threaten North Korea again.
This man will not get away with what he's doing, believe me. And if he utters one threat in the form of an overt threat, or if he does anything with respect to Guam or any place else that's an American territory or an American ally, he will truly regret it, and he will regret it fast.
Having served on active duty in Guam, I can tell you the U.S. has exactly 0 good military options against North Korea. Any military scenario can quickly spiral out of control, leading to a large loss of life, not just in Guam, but also in South Korea. That's what makes the president's statements so reckless. He needs to stop backing the U.S. into a corner where we have no good military options, and he needs to try diplomacy.
Governor, I just want to let you know, we're with you 1,000%. You have nothing. You notice that he hasn't spoken recently. He doesn't talk so much anymore. And we'll see how it all works out, but you're not going to have a problem.
Yeah. Sir, isn't it?
They don't, you don't, this is between you and I, but you don't talk like they talk.
Yeah.
You can't do that. And you can't do that with people like us.
Yeah. Sir,
so, I just wanted to pay my respects and say you seem like a hell of a guy.
The problem with the Trump administration is not only do they have a lack of a strategy in many areas, including North Korea, but they send out conflicting statements. So earlier you had Rex Tillerson basically saying the time for talking might be close with North Korea. And then the president starts doing this tirade of very provocative statements. So it's very confusing to world leaders. And what I want the Trump administration to do is get on one page so that we know what the administration believes. And the president has said that he thinks it's good to be unpredictable. In foreign affairs, that's really stupid. You don't want to be unpredictable. You want to be clear. You don't want to have miscalculations.
frankly, the people that were questioning that statement, was it too tough? Maybe it wasn't tough enough. They've been doing this to our country for a long time, for many years. And it's about time that somebody stuck up for the people of this country and for the people of other countries. So, if anything, maybe that statement wasn't tough enough. And we're backed by 100% by our military. We're backed by everybody. And we're backed by many other leaders. And I noticed that many senators and others today came out very much in favor of what I said. But if anything, that statement may not be tough enough. North Korea better get their act together, or they're going to be in trouble like few nations ever have been in trouble in this world.
The United States basically saying, bring it on again. And David Ignatius, writing in the Washington Post today, says that, quote, in dealing with North Korea, Trump needs allies, not bombast. President Trump has decided to confront what's probably the most reckless, risk-taking regime on the planet. His hope for a diplomatic solution depends on convincing North Korea and China that he's ready for the fire and fury of nuclear war should negotiations fail. If Hollywood were pitching the story, it would be The Art of the Deal meets Dr. Strangelove. The United States can't go it alone in Korea in either war or peace. The danger is that Trump's rhetoric could destabilize partners more than adversaries. At a moment that requires subtlety, Trump unwisely amped up his rhetoric once more Thursday, warning the North Koreans of things they never thought possible. He talks like the promoter of a WWE wrestling match, but this is real. At least this is real, but it's also, reading between the lines themselves, incredibly dangerous.
U.S. President Donald Trump warned North Korea should not make any more threats or
they will be met with fire and fury.
But North Korea has made more threats. The state news agency distributed this video of a mass protest in Pyongyang against the latest round of UN sanctions on North Korean exports. And in a statement, the commander of the North Korean Military Strategic Force called Donald Trump's fire and fury comments nonsense. He said the president failed to grasp the grave situation and that sound dialogue is not possible with such a guy bereft of reason, and only absolute force can work on him. He outlined detailed plans to be finalized in days for the simultaneous launch of 4 Hwasong-12 intermediate-range ballistic missiles into waters just off the U.S. territory of Guam. It's clear North Korea heard the message. What happens next is what is keeping many up at night.
Korea now firing back at President Trump's warning of fire and fury, mocking the President of the United States, saying he fails to grasp the gravity of this situation while he's
playing
playing
within 24
golf.
hours. The president ratchets it up, and the North Koreans say, okay, you got a pair of twos, we got 3 threes. We're going to throw them on the table. What is the president going to do? When the North Koreans say this, he's got a couple options. One, talk. Doesn't seem like he wants to do that. The Secretary of State's talked about that. Number 2, military action. We don't understand the implications, and I don't think he does, of military action. We're not only talking about going against a ballistic missile capability, you're talking about ensuring that the regime leadership is gone so they can't rebuild the capability. That means an American engagement like the one we had in Iraq. Nobody in this town is going to talk about that. So as soon as we ratchet up, my question is, what's the end game? Because I don't see it.
To advice for civil defense in the event of a missile launch. Here are the guidelines. Don't look at the flash or fireball, as blindness may result. Take cover behind a concrete structure if possible. Lay flat on the ground and cover your head. While flight time for a missile from North Korea is 14 minutes, they warn it can take more than 30 seconds for the blast wave to actually hit after impact. After the blast, they recommend showering well, using plenty of soap and shampoo. We are not making light of this threat, nor is anyone on Guam.
Let's see what he does with Guam. He does something in Guam, it will be an event the likes of which nobody's seen before, what will happen in North Korea. He will see. It's not a dare, it's a statement. Has nothing to do with dare. That's a statement. They will be met with fire and fury.
The regime state media warned the US's reckless behaviour will lead to its mainland being reduced to ashes.
He will truly regret it, and he will regret it fast.
How do you like me now?
problem. It's a huge problem. The huge problem. That is a huge problem.
So you think he has a bigger problem?
I think he's got a huge problem.